Hey everybody. So we're going to go over example one from our problem set or from our mini lesson real quick. So in the problem, it says the dot plots below show the numbers of our students in 2 homerooms spent on homework each week. So we've got homeroom A and we've got homeroom B. We want to figure out which statement is supported by the information in the box plots above. So since we're trying to find out which information is supported, that means that we're looking for the true statement. Okay. So let's go through each answer choice to determine which is going to be the best answer or the for this question. So we've got the first answer choice that says homeroom A has a larger spread in hours they spend on homework than homeroom B has in hours they spend on homework. So remember when we're talking about spread, another word that we used to describe the spread was range. So that word spread, that's just another word for range. And we calculate range based on taking the max. So our range is always going to be our max value minus our minimum value. Now, when we're looking at when we're looking at dot plots, it's important that we remember that each dot represents a student and the numbers on our number line are representing the actual data points. So the highest data point for homeroom A is going to start at 6. So here is going to be our max value. And then the smallest data point for homeroom A is going to be at 1 because that's where our smallest dots were, well, the smallest data point is where dots were plotted. So this number 1 is going to be our minimum. So if we were going to calculate the spread for homeroom A, that's going to be the max value, which is 6, minus the minimum value, which is 1. That gives us a spread or a range of 5. So for homeroom B, we would do the same. Our max value, where the last points were plotted, and that's at 6. And then our minimum value, once again, would still be at 1 for homeroom B. So what this tells me is that since they have the same max and min, when we go to calculate the range for homeroom B, we should get the same value that we got for homeroom A because they share the same max and min. So for this first problem, for the first answer choice, it says that homeroom A would be larger. Well, we just showed that both have the same spread. So this is going to be not true. That's a not true statement. Since we're looking for the true statement, we can go ahead and X out answer choice A. All right, so let's look at answer choice B. Answer choice B says homeroom A has a center of 3 and homeroom B has a center of 4. So we're talking about a center of 3 for homeroom, and that's going to be A, and then a center of 4 for homeroom B. Now, the center is where our data is going to be located, where the middle of our data is located. So if we're looking at the dots, there are for homeroom A a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are a total of 20 dots. So the middle of our data would be where our 10th dot would be because that's the middle of 20. 10 is at the middle of 20. So dot 10 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right here is where our center for our data would be. And it makes sense because it kind of is a symmetrical almost at 3. So it makes sense that this would be our center for our data for homeroom A. This is our center. Okay, and then we would need to do the same thing for homeroom B. So we can count all the plots. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 students that were surveyed again. And once again, since there's 20, half of that would be our midpoint, our center. So the 10th dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And once again, we see that that is going to be here at 4. So our center is going to be at 4. And then we can go back to what the statement said. It said that homeroom A has a center of 3, and that is true. That's what we saw. And homeroom B has a center of 4. That is also true. So we can say that this is a true statement. So for right now, B is looking like the contender, but we want to make sure that we did this correctly. So we're going to keep going to each answer choice just to make sure. So let's look at answer choice C. Homeroom A has more students spending 2, 3, and 4 hours on homework than homeroom B has students spending on 4, 5, and 6 hours. Okay. So let's calculate how many students are spending 2, 3, or 4 hours in homeroom A. So that's 2, 3, and 4 hours. Let's calculate how many students that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they have 13 students spending um, homework hours, either 2, 3, or 4 hours. That's for homeroom A. Now we're comparing that for homeroom B, how many students are spending 4, 5, and 6 hours. So I'm just going to box in 4, 5, and 6 hours, and then we're going to count up how many students spent that time there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 13 students as well. And once again, they said that homeroom A would have more. And the data doesn't support that. They have the same amount of students in both of those groups. So this is a not true statement. They have the same. So we can go ahead and X out answer choice C because we're looking for the true statement. All right, last answer choice, and this will validate what we already think to be true, but we just want to make sure. So for answer choice D, it says homeroom A had more than half of their students spending 4 or more hours on homework, and homeroom B had more than 2/3 of their students spending 4 or more hours on homework. So let's go ahead and check that out to see. So, homeroom A, we're expecting that more than half of their students spent 4 or more hours. So, 4 more hours would be including 4, 5, and 6. And that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 students that are in that range. So, that's 9 students. And they're saying that that is more than half. Well, there are 20 students that were surveyed in homeroom A. 9 is not more than half of 20. And if we were to write it out as a fraction just to make sure, 9 over 20 does not represent half, nor does it represent more than half. So if this is homeroom A, already we're not meeting that expectation. Okay. Then, if we look at homeroom B, it's saying that more than 2/3 of the students spent 4 or more hours. So, if we start at 4 or more, that's going to be 13 students because we already have that kind of blocked off. 4 or more would be including 4, 5, and 6. And we see that that's a total of 13 students. We already counted that out. So, would 13 out of 20 be more than 2/3? Well, in this case, we don't even have to figure out if 13 is more than 2/3. Why? Because homeroom A already did not meet the expectation. It's not more than half. So this statement isn't going to be true no matter if 13 is 2/3 of 20 or not. 9/20 is not more than half. So this automatically makes this statement not true. So we can go ahead and stop there and X out or cancel out answer choice D. So our final answer for this question is going to be B. Answer choice B is a boy. I hope you found this helpful. Use this as you go to finish working on the rest of the questions, and I'll see you guys later.